How's it? We are going to work on image maps in HTML today. What we have right now, an image map, is basically an area on a picture inserted in your HTML. We're going to go to bit.ly/CA word cloud. Okay, bit.ly/CA word cloud. Or this website right here. And we're going to be making a word cloud of people who have inspired you. Now if it's your mom, don't just put mom, put her actual name or your brother, but usually they're more famous people. In this case we're going to use a few famous people. Anyone want to volunteer? Yeah, Jay, we'll have you. You haven't inspired me, but I'll put your name down for today's example. You guys can come on up. Anyone else? All right. Okay, Ari and Yuri and Nana. Okay, Nana will come up. All right, so you three come up here. Let's go ahead and put their names in. Okay, so Jay and Lee, wave. That's no down here. There's Jay. All right, where's Nana?
No. Okay.
And Yuri, not Ari. Okay. When you put their names, first and last names, put the capitalized in as one word. Don't put them as separate words. And then you have home, because we're going to create a link back to our home. So when you're finished with that, hit the arrow to create this, and then it's going to create something fancy. You can randomize it. You can do horizontal or vertical, that's fine. Any way you want. Just make sure it's not diagonal like this. It can't be diagonal. Okay, so once you find something you want, you can change your font, you can change your colors, be happy with that, and your layouts. Once you got something you want, you can take a screenshot, Command-Shift-4. And again, while you're resizing, press the space bar and you can resize that box that you made. Okay, so then you can take a screenshot of that, and then we got our screenshot. So you're going to put that in your images folder. Once you have it the way you want it, Command-Shift-4, and you're going to highlight this area. Don't get outside this area with the words. Make sure it's clean. Hold on the the space bar, and you can move this box to have a tight cut to it. Take your screenshot. Then on the desktop, you can rename it. Okay. So I'm going to rename it. If I'm Daniel, and these are my friends who inspired me, CA1 Daniel 17, and then you're going to put cloud. Okay. So, and I'm going to go to my text edit, and I'm going to make a new text edit, Command-Shift-T, or if you use Smalltron, that's fine too. And what I'm going to do is in my text edit, there's certain things I always do. So I'm going to have my, so you can see it, HTML head. My title is going to be inspire, and then my body. Now what I'm going to do is put a line break, okay, BR, and then I'm going to put an H2 align. That means it's a center, which will center the title. And this is going to be people who have inspired me. Okay, and then I'm going to close the H2, another break. And then I'm going to go ahead and insert that image that I just made. Okay, so the image that I just made was imgsrc, and if I take that on screenshot, I have to put that into the folder that I'm saving it in. So let's say I have a new folder. Again, this should be in your Dropbox for HTML for that, but if I have this, you can make a new folder called images, and then place that image, okay, into that folder, and let's drag it in there. Okay, so make sure that's there. And now I need to make sure that my text file or my text edit, my HTML, is there. So I need to hit File and Save, and I'm just going to call this Inspire. And don't worry about naming it or changing stuff. Just hit Save and then go back to your folder and drag that Inspire into that folder. So now I see Inspire. And the easiest thing to do is just click it and then .html. Okay, and then use HTML, and then all I need to do is just drag that into my browser, and this is what I have so far. So far we're good, except you don't see the image yet, right? Well, that's because I need to finish my code. So in HTML, I have images, src images. This is going to be, again, go to your here, CA1 Daniel. The best thing to do is copy that image name, CA1 Daniel 17 cloud.png. Now my width, I'm going to choose my width, and again, you can choose it 1,500. It's up to you what you choose. I'm going to close this and save it, and then refresh it so you can see what it looks like and how big it is. Now if I don't want that size, watch what happens if I put 1,000. Okay, Command S, Command. Notice how it stretches it. Okay, this way. So you can choose whatever you want for your height and width, and that's up to you. Okay, so and again, it just depends on how you took your screenshot. So I'm going to leave it like that for now. Now, since we're going to use this image as a image map, there is something we have to put on the end here. We're going to put use map, and then put equals, and then I'm going to hit the pound sign, and then put the hobby that you're doing. So if your hobby is soccer, okay, or if it's volleyball, okay, you can put use map pound sign volleyball. Or if it's photography, put photography. So use map like that. And now what we're going to do is go down, and we're actually going to make an image map now, where you click on a part of the image and it will take you to a special place. Sounds like a song. So what I'm going to do is put map name, and it's going to be volleyball, the same name as that you put right here. And again, make sure that there's a space here, and it looks like that. Now we're ready for our image map. Now there's two certain types of image maps. There's circle image maps and there's rectangle image maps. In this case, we don't have any circles. We have more rectangle shapes with these words that we want to use. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put in this code right here. Area shape equals rect for rectangle. If it would be a circle, it would just be a circle, but right now it's not. It's a rectangle. And then we're going to do coordinates. Okay, and so chords for coordinates equals, and then there's 4 coordinates that we need. Okay, and when we click on that area, it's going to take us to, and then href equals, and let's just put index.html. Now if you put index.html, you need to make sure in your folder you have a file in here that says index.html. Otherwise it won't go there. Okay, so make sure there's one in there. So I'm just gonna put one in there and call this index. And again, this is your home page, your index right there. So make sure that happens. Okay. Now let me explain how image maps work. So remember, there's 4 things. So let's say we have this as our image, and again, you don't have to open up anything. This is just sit back and watch and try to understand, because this is one of the most challenging concepts to get in this quarter. Okay, so kind of like in geometry, you know, when you do graphing. Okay, and if math is a challenge for you, that's okay. Math is a big challenge for me as well. But let's say I'm going to graph something. So let's put our graph into this coordinate. I forget what coordinate that's called. Is it like 4? Okay, so if my graph is like this, okay, put my graph like this and like this. Okay, so this is my intersect. Okay, so I have a coordinate here, 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 here. Now pretend we're in this coordinate of the graph. And remember, it's 1,000, right? This is 1,000 as my width. Remember, in my width I said it was 1,000, okay? And the height is 500. So that's 1,000, this is 500. And again, you chose the numbers, so these might be different numbers for you. Now, within these numbers, okay, I'm going to guess right about here is 500, right here, because 1/2 of 1,000 is 500. And right about here is about 250, right? Okay, following me? All right, we're good. So I need to figure out where this home is. Okay, I'm gonna draw a little rectangle around home like that. I am trying to find out, okay, and I'll shade it in for you just so you can kind of see a little bit better, okay? I want to see where that square is, okay? And again, to get this, I need to find 4 numbers, okay? So let's put 4 numbers here. 1 number, 2 number, 3 number, and 4 numbers. And my 4 numbers, my first number that I'm trying to get is what's called the x-axis. Okay, remember the x-axis is horizontally right here. So my first number is on the left side. Okay, where on this point do I hit, you know, this point right there? And if that's 500 and that's 0 and this is about 250, I'm gonna guess 475. Okay, that's where my first axis is, I'm guessing. I'm just going to call that x1. Now I'm going to skip this second number and go to the third number and call this x2. And I need to know, okay, how far is this rectangle? Now if that's 500 and this is about 750, okay, I'm going to guess 625. And again, these can just be guesses right now. We're just trying to guess our numbers to see where we're at. And make sure that this number, the second number, is bigger than the first number. It has to be. It has to be bigger. Otherwise, it's negative. It's like a black hole. So next is my y-axis. Okay, now I need to get my vertical. Now my first vertical is right here. Okay, so if this is 0, remember this is 0. This is pretty close to 0. So maybe it's like 20. Okay, 10, I don't know. I'm going to call this y1. And then I'm going to guess how far this is. Now if this is 250 and this is about 125, I'm going to guess that's about 80. Okay, again, these are just guesses. And we can try to guess again once we see where we're at. Okay, so what I'm going to do is first I'm going to have the first one as 0. The second one 0, and for this number put the maximum of your width. So width is 1000, put 1000 for your width. For your height, put 500 if that's, or whatever number you had for your height. And again, I'm looking back through my code, I see usemap equals. I forgot to end the quotation, so don't forget those, otherwise it won't work. I'm gonna hit Command S, and here now you should see a little link, so that should work, and it should take you back to your index page. Okay, so that means that's working. We're good here, and I can move on. Now I'm going to try plugging in those numbers I got, and again, I would, if I were you, I would do the same thing that I just did in your book, in your notes, and try to like draw it out, squares and everything. So I'm going to take these numbers, 475 and 20, and I'm going to plug those in. So let's try that. Okay, so 475, 20, 625, and 80. And I'm going to hit Command S, okay, to save that. And I'm going to go in and refresh. And now you need to just move your cursor around until you find where it is. And there it is. If you don't see it right here in your home, maybe you went somewhere else on the page, on this image map. Okay, and if you can't find it, maybe the second number was smaller than the first number and it's not there, and you need to adjust it. So I got pretty close. You see here, my cursor. I would first start with the X, so I need to move it over some, and there was pretty good. So that's pretty good. So I just need to move my X over. So to do that, I can just go to my X here. Basically what happened was I guessed right about here. So I need to make my X number a little bit lower number. So instead of 475, I'm going to put 450. Okay. And now if I go back to my, refresh it, okay, look, it did move it over, but not enough. So I need to go back to my text edit. Let's just put 400 and be silly. And see if that works. Okay, hey, it works. There we go. Now I'm going to go to my Y, good, my Y works, and it's too much. See, it's down here. Okay, so I'm gonna make my Y a little bit smaller, so it'll shrink it. So instead of 80, let's put 60. Refresh, and now we're good. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now we're done. So that's image maps. And again, if I wanted to do a circle, just real quick, just for kicks, okay, I could also do that by just changing this to circle. And instead of 4 coordinates, you'll just have 3. The first number is the X, the second number is the Y, and the third number is how big the circle is of the area. So if I put like area 10, but I still do 40, 20, okay, I hit save and I hit refresh. Notice that it's on this point, okay? Because remember, my X is here, my first X is here, my first Y is here. So notice that it's right there, and it's not very big. But if I changed my 10 to maybe 100, Command S, Command R, notice, look, it's really much bigger, my circle, okay? So my circle is basically like that. So that's how we did the circle for a circle. Okay, that's image maps. Again, it's challenging, but you should like challenges and say, bring it on!